Hello, everybody. We just did the first little promo video for the Sweet Spot Retreat of 2023 with Carolina and Andrew. So good to have you here. So you guys are in Costa Rica, right? I'm roaming the world from New York to Denver to Prague and Warsaw and back to Budapest, but you guys are already there. So tell us a bit about how's living in Costa Rica working out for you?
Well, and Laszlo, you know whose fault that is. It's yours, at least in my case. That I got to go on the retreat last year, or this year, earlier this year in February, and my wife and I met a few people, had some deep conversations, did some purpose work, and moved full time to Costa Rica in July from Brooklyn, and have loved it. Are building a life here and an amazing community. And when we first got here, I met Carolina, who is my neighbor,
Yes.
who also happens to be an amazing bioenergetics worker and light worker and yogini and all the things. So
Yeah, and I'm here very excited to be living here. It's been 1 year. I'm Brazilian, but I was living in Canada for the past 10 years. And last September, last year, I moved to Costa Rica, and it's just incredible. It's magic.
It's magic.
It is.
And I'm so excited to be back on the land. The Brave Earth Retreat Center itself is a neo tribe, as we call it. It started in 2014 with about 15 of us at Burning Man, deciding that this is something that should go beyond the playa. And we decided to buy land in Costa Rica and then build a retreat center. So actually going to Brave Earth is really like coming home and sort of experiencing not just nature as its purest form and the food and the whole ambience of the jungle, but also the community of the tribe that is living there. It's a living laboratory, as they call it, and being there, it's just really reconnecting to something ancient, something, a feeling where the community can hold us, really sort of going deep into our transition, deep into those territories that you mentioned, Andrew, that we are here to make the leap, make the next big step. And if we are held, we are able to do that.
Well, and one of the things that I loved about Brave Earth was it really taught me about community of place. So I have a huge community in New York of 100 to 200 people that I see, and we throw events together and we hang out on the weekends and whatnot, but they're all spread out. And there's something really beautiful about, when my baby is crying and I can walk over to Carol's house, or we're both happen to be at the pool and I just give her Aona, or she gives me Kawa, her son, and we're able to help each other out in this more direct physical contact way that I think those of us who live in a big city often miss.
Mm.
I find that it's just everything I've ever dreamed, to have this support, to just like walk off your door and like you fully trust the person living just the next door, and you know that person, and you know that you can go there and like, hey, I just need something, and
I need some cinnamon for my banana pancakes.
exactly. And just for my kids too. So I have a 6-year-old daughter and a baby, and I just feel safe. They can just like walk on the property, they can just play, and if they're like on the pool, like I know people will be like just watching for them as if they were their kids. So it's just beautiful to be here and be able to share this community. Yeah, growing and growing.
Mm-hmm. And there's something beautiful. Like, I think we get that in the States, but it's very manicured. It's very like groomed and produced in like a suburban environment if we have community of place. And this is like raw jungle, there's bugs, there's spiders, there's amazing plants, amazing flowers, trees. Like, we're surrounded by lush nature. And Laszlo, you said something where it's like everything is alive.
Yeah,
And I think that nourishes our body in this beautiful way and certainly impacts our energy as well.
totally. Yeah.
Mm.
Well, we feel more grounded and we feel part of it. It's different the relation that I have with the land and the relationship that I had with where I used to live. And I think it's because of the nature. Like
Mhm.
it changes completely.
Mm. And I would like to invite you, Carol, to say a little bit more about your art and your practice, because if people watching our page, they can see Andrew and me talk a lot about what we are doing. The videos Noemi shot at the retreat early this year are just beautiful, and 2 or 3 of them are right now on the page. But you would be the new gem, the new host in the retreat. Thank you, Andrew, for stealing her for the
Yeah.
retreat. Talk a little bit about where you're coming from. What is your healing arts, and what do you bring to the sweet spot?
Yes, sure. So, and I love to talk about the yoga practice that I do. I find that it's a very unique practice. I've been doing yoga for over, well, maybe 15, 18 years. But I found in this piece the consciousness behind yoga. And it's really allowing ourselves to feel again, to be in the body. So this is what embodiment means for me. It's like to be in your body and be able to feel it. And at the same time, we need to master the mind so the mind feels safe in doing that. The mind is not in control anymore. It's just like, oh yes, I'm like serving a bigger purpose that the body feels where I need to go. And it's just like moving your body and connecting with the feeling and let all your cells feel that you're like, I am on the right path, but not because your mind knows, but because you feel it. And there's no doubt because you know it. So that's the yoga practice that I do. It has changed my life, and I'm very excited to share with you all. And I'm also a bioenergetic practitioner that works with like subconscious, clearing emotions as well, which is like very connected. But that's it. I'm passionate about it, and I could talk, but no.
And I'll say I came to Costa Rica. So since January of this year, I had neck pain, neck and upper back pain that was kind of subconsciously related to my wife getting pregnant. And this feeling of like, I need to be a provider and worry about money and worry about, uh, being a good dad. And I literally, so I had this pain for 7 months, and I went to 2 sessions with Carol, and we would just talk through some things. She would muscle test me and use bioenergetics, and I would lift my head, and all of a sudden I'd be like, the pain is gone. And so for those who don't know, like there's amazing overlap between all of these different things that we're talking about, between emotions, spirit, purpose, energy, mind, body. They all overlap and intersect in all these different ways. And so each of us have our entry point and our way of working, but at a deeper level, we're working with all of the different systems that are inside of you and inherent to us being human.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I find that purpose is related to we need to find coherence, right? Like the way you feel, the way you move, the way you act, the way you think. And then you're like, when you find that, you're like, oh, okay. It's such a big release. And you find your way.
The release is a great segue to what we're gonna do at the Sweet Spot Retreat, right? We're gonna just get there and release everything that we can do away with, like everything that we don't need for our life, for our situation, for our purpose. Purpose is inside, right? We're not looking for purpose outside, looking for purpose inside, meaning that all the things that the ego, the little busy ego parts that all thinking about what's the problem, where's the solution, what's the problem, they can just all just fall away, right? And then we can just really be centered, grounded, aligned, appear as we want to, and really find the next step, find the next leap on our journey. And The place is just wonderful for that. We have a very easy schedule where we wake up with the sun, which is always 6 a.m. in the morning. We start with Carol's yoga class. We have breakfast after that, and we do a longer class with Andrew and a longer class with me, and then lunch. That's every day. And then in the afternoon, we all host one-on-one sessions with each of the participants. So each of the participants will enjoy a one-on-one work with each one of us. And who's not in session are free to roam the jungle, free to walk around, free to actually use all the facilities in the neighboring friendly eco lodge called Finca Nueva Luna. Finca Luna Nueva. I'm always mixing the two versions of the name. And there is a pool, there is great food there, there's a jacuzzi, there is a Polish lady with a Hungarian name who does wonderful massages. So it's a full retreat with the wellness facilities included. So it's just an amazing experience. And then we gather for dinner. We usually have dinner speakers who are my friends, our friends from the retreat place, who are living there, parts of our tribes who actually stayed there, and because of COVID, they didn't even leave, right? They used to, go back and forth between other continents, and when we arrived in February, it turned out that they were there for 2 years back then. So it's just a beautiful way to get introduced into our Neo tribe by actually get an introduction to the living laboratory that they are running there. And the specials that's going to be coming up, one on Thursday, we're going to do a full-blown Mexican style temazcal in the afternoon with a Peruvian and Mexican couple. So we're going to be in the hot air for a few hours, which is the sort of the end of the release, right? Up to that point, we are in the release part. The first part of the journey is releasing everything that we don't need, and that's gonna be the sort of the pinnacle of that. And we're gonna do the integration in the second part of our week, which gonna start in this surrounding in the beautiful Ecotermales bath, which is a volcanic hot water natural system of pools. And then I think we're gonna do an afternoon at the waterfall, right, Andrew? Because it was such a great thing this January as well. And then we're gonna finish with a beautiful ceremony on Sunday, and that's the full week. On Saturday, actually, we're gonna start Sunday this time, end on Saturday. Yeah, traveling on Sunday. So Saturday night on the 12th on the 11th is the end, and we'll travel on the 12th.
So Les, I would love to add something about Brave Earth that I wasn't expecting when I went. Is that for me? So I'm 41. I've lived in Europe. I've lived in the US. I've traveled all over the world. I didn't quite know how I could live in harmony to find the alignment with my values. I didn't know what that looked like. And going to Brave Earth, I got to hear from people who had really challenged themselves to think about, what does it mean for me to be in alignment? What does that look like? What does it look like with my relationship to myself, to land, to food, to the community at large, to other people who I'm sharing this country and land with, to employees, to shareholders. And so I think for people who are really looking for maybe also a new model for how to live, and it doesn't mean that you have to move to Costa Rica like I did, and Carolina did. You could. We're gonna say it's pretty great here, but if you're looking for a new model or a different model, then I think of it as like all the abstraction layers, all these different layers that we have between us and the products that we use, the food that we eat, the services that we need. Everything is like on an app now. And it was amazing. I went somewhere here called the Green Arc, and I got to see a cinnamon tree. I had no idea where cinnamon came from. I know for a lot of people, they have no idea where chocolate comes from and from the cacao plant or the cocoa plant. So removing all of those layers and really connecting with what's it like to be a species on this planet, connected to the land, connected to where your food comes from, connected to the people around you. That was really special for me. And the people at Brave Earth and the talks that we have at night kind of shed light on the water that we're all swimming in the Western world, some of the ideologies, some of the assumptions that we have that we've created, and that we've just chosen to take as fact when in fact we've just kind of made them up and all agreed on them. But it doesn't necessarily have to be that way, and it won't be that way forever. So I really appreciated that aspect, and I think it's one of the things that unlocked Costa Rica for my wife and I, that we really were excited to live out our values and live closer to the land and closer to each other, and especially as we were having a baby, wanting to bring her into the world in a place where we got to live out those values.
Amazing. I can't wait to be back there on the land with you guys. February 4th to the 12th. That's next year's retreat. You can find all the information below the video on our website, and in the website there is a link to book a short 30-minute interview, the first conversation with us. It's a very small retreat, so we do a conversation with everybody who wants to come to make sure that this is the best fit. So please come, look at all the information, book a appointment with us, and we would love to have you to join us in the jungle.
We look forward to seeing you there.